As schools close for the summer, many tweens and teens are excited to chill out with their friends. And while some downtime is important, too much can lead to trouble. And that's why the Governor's Prevention Partnership and Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services are reminding parents about the dangers of underage drinking and substance abuse. And joining me now is Mary Kate Mason, the Public Relations Manager for the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. It's great to see you, Mary Kate.
Thanks for helping us spread the word.
Oh, it's so important. All right, so why is it that you are really going out to let everybody know how serious this is?
I think people don't understand how common underage drinking is. We know that 1 in 5 youth report that at prom they binge drink, which can be so dangerous. In Connecticut, we have some towns where local surveys are saying that up to 70% of seniors report drinking in the past 30 days. So it's a really large problem, and people tend to minimize the consequences of underage drinking.
Yeah, it is alarming. And why is it that people tend to minimize that?
I think a lot of adults think they did it when they were young and it didn't hurt them. I like to tease and say, how do you know it didn't hurt you? But we know now that the brain is developing, and this is information that's relatively new, that the brain doesn't stop developing until age 25.
That's right.
So alcohol can really impact the development of the brain.
Yeah, it impairs the process of the decision making.
It absolutely does. It's a couple of things. We think that alcohol can impact learning and memory, but also we know that alcohol doesn't help people make good choices, and teens are already making choices about risky behaviors, and alcohol does not help them make good decisions.
Do you find that the problem really escalates during the summer when there is a lot of downtime?
Well, what we find is kids tend to have a lot more freedom in the summer. There's a lot more group activities that go on. We've taken a lot of looks at big concerts where kids may be going and maybe drinking in excess, parties in the woods, parties at people's homes where maybe the parent isn't home or even asleep, or even letting the kids drink at their house.
Yeah, let's talk about that tacit approval. That's illegal. And hosting a party where alcohol is available to minors.
I think it is illegal. There's a state law that prohibits adults from serving alcohol to youth. People need to know that they can be arrested, fined, even imprisoned, not to mention the embarrassment of having your name run through the paper as having had an underage drinking party.
Exactly, and police appear to me anyway to be really enforcing this.
They are. The department is working with a lot of police departments on increasing enforcement of underage drinking.
And so, basically, what are you telling parents out there?
It's a problem. Underage drinking is a problem. It's preventable. There's no need for tragedies to happen. The violence that can happen when underage drinking is happening, car accidents that can happen because of underage drinking, just general accidents, it's preventable. And the way it's preventable is for parents to tell their children it's not acceptable.
So you really have to have that conversation. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. I think that what parents don't understand is the #1 reason kids say they don't drink is because their parents let them know that it's not acceptable. So it's about having a conversation with your kids that it's not okay. And it's also about talking with your kids about behaviors that they can employ to avoid drinking. If someone offers them a drink, kind of role playing with them, how would you refuse that drink?
So how would you tell a parent to do that role playing? If you were the parent talking to a child, what would you tell them?
If I was talking to another parent,
right,
I would let them know that they need to give their kid an out. They can have their kids say, you know, I've drank before and I've been sick from it, so I don't drink anymore, so that it makes them feel a little bit less like they're refusing something that's the cool thing to do. We can let another parent know it's okay to tell your kid to call, and you'll go get them if there's alcohol, and you won't ask any questions. And we also want parents to call other parents and say, will you be there, and will there be alcohol?
Let me tell you, I would not allow my son to go to a party where I didn't know the parents, and if I knew the parents were not going to be there, I said, no, you can't go. And I know he wanted to go, but I had to really put my foot down on that.
Sometimes I think kids want to go, but at the same time, they want you to keep them safe. So there may be some moments of discomfort in your house after you've said no, but it passes, which is great because you know what, if your child is hurt in an accident, that may not pass as quickly.
And when it does happen, I mean, some kids, even when you do talk to them, they're still going to do it. As a parent, though, you feel good about at least talking to them about the pros and cons. But when they do it and you catch them, how do you deal with that sort of thing?
I think it's really important to monitor your children, to tell them you're monitoring them, tell them you're going to be involved, and set clear consequences for what happens if their behavior doesn't agree with your rules.
All right, so for more information on the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services or the Governor's Prevention Partnership, all you have to do is visit the website preventionworksct.org. Mary Kate, thanks for being here.
Thank you
It's always
so
good to
much.
see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you too.